Hi everyone, my name is Osama. I'm a pharmacist based in Doncaster, and today I'd like to talk about what it's like to work as a partially sighted pharmacist. So just before I start on the topic of this video, I just want to say a really quick thanks to everyone who watched my last video about sight loss in 2021, where I talked about my experiences of living with RP. I was really overwhelmed with the positive reaction and all the feedback I got from that video, so thanks again guys, that was really appreciated. So to save a lot of time, I'm just going to give you the upfront conclusion straight away. Does being partially sighted affect my job as a pharmacist? No, that's the short answer, no. Luckily, you know, I've been working as a pharmacist almost 21 years, and touch wood, really, it's not really had a major impact on my job, I'm pleased to say. So I suppose the first major challenge that I experienced in my job being partially sighted was when I lost my license. I was driving for 8 years while working as a pharmacist, and then in January 2010 I had my license revoked. Anyone with RP is going to know about this, because obviously the visual fields decrease over time. So that was quite a tough challenge to overcome. Luckily I get around this by using taxis to get to and from work. It's not ideal, but it is what it is. My pharmacy is 8 miles away from where I work, so public transport, it's a bit tricky because it means I'd have to get 2 buses to and from work, and it would just add probably an hour on top of an already long day, a 9-hour day that I have in the pharmacy. So yeah, transport wise, that's probably the biggest issue, I'd say, at the moment, really, when it comes to being partially sighted and working as a pharmacist. Luckily, however, though, I'm just based in one location, so I'm not having to book taxis here and there. I can just book have a regular booking, and I know where I am. Then I have use the same taxi to take me to and from work. So it's all very organised. So then the next challenge I came across was when I developed cataract in the left eye. This was quite a gradual thing. Again, it didn't really affect my day-to-day work as a pharmacist. Even at the terminal phase, when it was at its worst, the cataract, before I had the operation in October 2019, even up to that point, I was still able to work without a huge amount of difficulty, to be honest with you. So anyone suffering from a cataract, you know, it's not the end of the world, it can be treated, and you know, in the run-up to the operation, in my case anyway, I could still work. Talking of cataracts, as I mentioned a minute ago, I had an operation to remove the cataract in October 2019, and initially it was a fantastic success. I mean, to be honest, it still is a fantastic success. However, I have had some issues with scar tissue in the front and the back of the eye, as well as some fluid accumulation. So it's not been a perfect resolution, but to be honest with you, it's still a huge improvement over what I did have. Now, talking about the operation and cataracts, unlike a lot of people who have a distance lens fitted into their eye, I actually had a lens put in the eye that was set to a focal length of about 50 centimeters. I explained to the surgeon that the bulk of my work in my life involves reading. I get a lot of pleasure out of reading, as well as having to check prescriptions and read labels and prescriptions up close, so it only made sense for me to prioritise close-up reading over distance. I still have to wear glasses for distance, but after, I don't know, 19 years of having to wear glasses around the pharmacy, now I don't have to wear glasses around the pharmacy. So it's just absolutely fantastic. You know, it's a great relief. And again, another sort of argument against the case that having RP limits my life or you know, hampers my job as a pharmacist, because quite clearly it doesn't. So luckily, in the day-to-day life of a pharmacist in my pharmacy, I have a very supportive team who I've worked with for many years. So they understand my condition, and they can sort of, you know, help me in the job, you know, such as if, you know, they leave a box in the middle of the dispensary, they can move it out of the way, you know. So like I say, it doesn't really affect my job to that huge an extent that my staff have to adapt to work around me. You know, it's not like that. I think just the main thing is that the staff who work with me and the company who I work for as a pharmacist are very supportive, you know. And again, people should take heart from that. You know, if you have a disability, there's nothing stopping you from achieving what you want to achieve. Now, when it comes to my life as a pharmacist outside the pharmacy, again, I've got more positive news. A few years ago, I studied at Sheffield Hallam University to get some postgraduate qualifications, and the university were absolutely fantastic with me. You know, they were very understanding of my disability, you know, my partially sighted issues, and you know, I mean, I don't want to be treated any differently or anything like that, to be honest with you, although at that stage, because the cataract was fairly advanced, I was allowed an extra 15 minutes at my end of year exam that I had to do. So again, it's, you know, even though you have a disability, even though you might be a pharmacist with a disability, you know, when it comes to further education, I would imagine most higher learning institutions like Sheffield Hallam will adapt the course to suit your abilities, you know, to suit your needs and stuff like that. Despite being partially sighted, I do all the jobs that any other pharmacist would do. I do medicine reviews, I do flu injections, I do consultations in the consultation room, as well as all the general giving out prescriptions and stuff like that. In fact, I probably do more than a lot of pharmacists. In fact, I do additional management roles on top of the day-to-day job of being a pharmacist. So again, it just goes to show, just because I'm partially sighted doesn't mean I can't do the same work as other people who don't have any sight issues. So I suppose the take-home message from all of this that I'd like to get across to everyone is that you know, it doesn't matter what disability you have. Mine just happens to be a visual disability, you know, a partially sighted disability. But don't let anyone ever tell you that you're not good enough, or you're not going to succeed, or you aren't going to do well in a particular career just because you've got a disability, because quite clearly that's nonsense, you know. And don't let anyone tell you otherwise. You know, you can achieve whatever you want to achieve. You know, you just have to have that drive and determination. And you know what, disability or no disability, you know, you can achieve things. So I'm hoping one day in the future I'd like to do a little vlog style video about the day in the life of a pharmacist stroke partially sighted pharmacist, just to give people an insight into what being a pharmacist is, what being a partially sighted pharmacist is, you know. So hopefully I can get that up and running, and I'll make a video about that in the near future. So anyway, I hope you found this video a little bit informative, a little bit inspirational. You know, it's nice to sort of talk about these things, because I don't think it really gets much publicity sort of in the wider world. So yeah, hopefully you'll enjoy you've enjoyed this video. Anyway, it's been lovely speaking to everyone again. I hope to catch up with you real soon, and I'll see you in the next video. Thank you very much.